Uh, Hello everyone. We are Team 2, and my team members comprise of Adhya, Anubhav, me, myself, Priya, Raj, and Vidhi. And we are very excited to show the findings of our report as well as the comprehensive research that we've done over the course of this class and course to make our final project. So here goes ABC Manufacturing Process Improvements, presented by Team 2. Moving on. The business problem is going to be the first section of our project. So when it comes to this, we'll begin by defining the core business problem that we're addressing. The primary objective here is to improve the first pass acceptability in the overall raw material quality in ABC's procurement process. What's driving this problem is not just one issue, but a combination of structural as well as behavioral challenges. Firstly, there's a breakdown in communication with vendors. ABC is not sharing essential design specifications or demand forecasts, which leaves suppliers guessing. This naturally impacts quality, timing, and volume. Secondly, internal incentives are misaligned. Procurement staff are rewarded for cost savings, not for ensuring quality. This results in the selection of cheaper, lower grade raw materials that ultimately hurt product performance. Third, quality inspections are outdated and inconsistently followed. The inspection policy is 7 years old, poorly documented, and not part of the training staff, and not part of training for the new staff. As a result, incoming materials are either inadequately checked or skipped altogether. Lastly, cross functional accountability is majorly lacking. Procurement personnel deflect responsibility for quality failures onto vendors. There is no real sense of ownership or a unified approach in ABC. The net result of this is poor material quality, systemic inefficiencies, and a frustrated vendor base, all of which threaten ABC's ability to deliver high quality finished products. Now, Anubhav will carry the presentation forward.
To identify the root causes of ABC manufacturing quality issues, we conducted a true analysis of the current procurement and inspection processes using a mixed qualitative and visual tools. We begin with the SIPOC diagram to outline the high-level flow, revealing critical gaps such as cost-driven procurement decision and unclear vendor accountability. Process flowchart and streamline diagram further expose insufficiency, showing inconsistent handoff between procurement, warehouse, and quality teams, as well as lack of standard inspection procedure. To validate these findings, we conducted gamma walks, observing firsthand of the procurement system due to poor training and the inconsistent application of quality checks by warehouse staff. Employee interview and focus groups uncover deeper cultural challenges, including resistance to change and departments and a blame-oriented mindset, where vendors were faulted for quality issue without internal accountability. Additionally, a review of documentation confirmed that inspection policies were outdated and training material were insufficient, and vendor contract lacked enforcement quality clause. Together, these findings paint a clear picture of a fragmented, reactive processes that prioritize short-term of cost saving over long quality and a system fundamental with ABC strategy goal. This comprehensive assessment provides the foundation of designing targeting improvement in the should be process. Now I turn over to Adya.
Thanks, Anubhav. Building on that, I'll now walk you through what the should be process should look like at ABC Manufacturing. First, we need to change how success is measured in procurement. Bonuses and KPIs should no longer focus just on cost savings. Instead, they should be tied to quality metrics like first time pass rate and supplier defect rate. Second, vendors must receive consistent communication. This includes sharing design specifications and demand forecasts in advance through specialized templates and NDAs. It helps them plan better and deliver high quality. Third, the ABC's inspection procedures are outdated and inconsistently followed. A modern policy supported by regular staff training and audits will ensure consistent quality checks. Next, the digital procurement system must be fully used. Teams need to be retained, and the system should trigger alerts for mismatches or unknown supplier issues. We also recommend introducing service level agreements with suppliers. setting clear performance standards, penalties for non compliance, and rewards for meeting quality targets. Lastly, we propose weekly cross functional quality meetings that bring procurement, QA, and warehouse teams together to address issues proactively and promote accountability. Over to you, Arman.
Thank you, Adya. I'll be talking about the key performance gaps in the case of ABC. The actual weaknesses in ABC's current processes that are preventing quality improvement are varied. The top priority gap is the misaligned bonus structure. Procurement personnel are incentivized to save money, even if it compromises quality. Fixing this requires redefining KPIs to reward quality sourcing, not just cost savings. And this redefinition is talked about in our report. The second gap is a lack of vendor communications. Vendors are not given clear specifications or forecasts. This misalignment sets them up to fail. Standardized documents and shared quality expectations, like the SLAs that Adya was talking about, must be built into the process. Thirdly, outdated quality control practices are still in place. Inspections vary by person, are not enforced at all, and are missing from training. Updating the policy and training staff on consistent checks is essential. Fourth is the failed adoption of the new procurement system. Due to poor rollout and training, the system has only added errors and frustration. A relaunch with a focus on user training and system alignment with workflows is critical and needed. The fifth gap is cultural resistance and blame shifting. Departments are siloed with little collaboration and no one willing to take ownership. Change management workshops and the profit framework from the external readings in the report can help instill a quality first mindset among ABC's employees. Finally, there's a lack of vendor performance enforcement. Poor quality suppliers face no consequences. This must change. Introducing service level agreements and penalties can drive accountability and supplier improvement. Addressing these gaps systematically is the only way ABC can bridge the divide between where they are right now and where they need to be in the future. Moving on to Raj.
Yeah, thank you, Arman. So, like at ABC Manufacturing, we were working to improve how we buy and check raw materials. Our main goal was to increase the first time pass rate, which means getting material that meets quality standards the first time without needing fixes. This will help us to avoid delays and keep our customer happy. We also track other important things like the first one was the defect rates from supplier to spot repeated problems, on time delivery, no, so material arrives when we need them, and supplier scorecard to rate the supplier performance, and lastly, the internal audits to make sure that the team follow the right steps. We review all the data every week using a dashboard and ERP systems to keep things on the track and make better decisions faster. Apart from this, our resources, the research we did was the first Yu and Xiong 2018 that found that when companies rewarded supplier based on the quality metrics like first time pass rate and defect rates, it leads to better results. Not only does the quality improves, but the supplier also become more responsible. For ABC, this means that by including these metrics and regular supplier scorecard, we can build a long-term improvements together. Secondly, ZU, a 2007 case that shows that buyer like ABC can lead the way in improving suppliers quality by using clear KPIs and having a regular conversation about performance. This research actually shows that this kind of consistent and metric-driven communication help reduce material rejections and make the supply chain more reliable. Moving towards Adhya.
Thank you, Raj. Now, I'll take you through the action plan to implement the improvements we have proposed. The first step is to redesign the procurement bonus structure so it rewards quality, like FTPR and defect rates, instead of just cost cutting. This will shift team behavior in the right direction. Next, we'll use standardized documentation and NDAs to share specifications and forecast with vendors. This builds clarity and trust upfront. The inspection policy will be rewritten and used in both onboarding and refresher training, ensuring consistency in how quality is assessed. We'll also optimize the procurement system. This means retraining teams and enabling features that flag specifications, mismatches, or past supplier problems. To ensure supplier accountability, we'll roll out service level agreements, including penalties for poor performance and incentives for consistent quality. We'll begin with a 12-week pilot program involving select teams and vendors. After evaluating the results, we'll move into a phased rollout across ABC with weekly monitoring. This The expected impact includes a 30% increase in FTPR, a 20% reduction in supplier defects, and a return on investment of 1.35 with payback in less than 9 months. Over to you, Vidhi.
Thank you, Adya. To ensure the success of our process improvement initiative, we've developed a robust ROI framework and change management strategy. Our conservative ROI analysis projects a 1.35 benefit to cost ratio, meaning for every dollar we invested, ABC Manufacturing will gain 1.35 in return, with a payback period of 8.89 months. Sensitivity training and testing shows even in the worst case scenario, which would be ROI being zero point 0.9, the initiative remains viable. While the best case scenario where ROI is 1.8, it could nearly double the returns. To drive adoption, we'll use the ADKAR change model, which is awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, and reinforcement. It will include communication campaigns to align stakeholders on the why behind the changes and target training to build skills in new systems and SOPs, and performance feedback loops to address resistance, and recognition programs to reward the early adopters. By pairing financial discipline with structured chain management, we'll secure both short term wins and long term cultural transformation. The numbers prove this isn't just an operational upgrade, it is a strategic investment in the ABC's manufacturing future. Over to you, Priya.
Thank you, Vidhi. I'll be talking about risk management in relation to the raw material quality improvement at ABC Manufacturing. I'll cover the main risk identified. We understand that the risk management is crucial for any change in initiative, especially when improving raw materials quality. Key risks include supplier pushback, workflow disruptions, internal resistance, and unexpected costs. To manage these, we suggest that appointing a dedicated risk manager to oversee risk, maintain a risk register, and provide regular updates to leadership. We also recommend using tools like failure modes and effective analysis to spot potential issues early. For suppliers, we suggest a clear engagement plan that includes proactive communication training and co development of quality standards to reduce resistance. We advise a pilot testing and phased rollout approach, starting small to learn and adjust before a full launch. Internally, we emphasize training and change management guided by the ADKAR model, which stands for Awareness, Desire, Knowledge, Ability, and Reinforcement, to ensure smooth adoption. We also recommend having contingency plans like backup suppliers to handle any failures in meeting quality standards. Research supports that these suggestions highlighting the importance of supervision, collaboration, and formal risk tracking. To sustain improvements, we suggest using dashboards, scorecards, and monthly reviews and ongoing cultural reinforcement. That wraps like what we suggest for risk management and sustainability. Thank you. That's all from Team 2. We hope that you found this presentation insightful.